We have a question from Daniel Terry. He writes, Dear Dave, I've got an '05 ZX6R and used to have the stock front tire size of a 120/65. Due to availability, I've now changed to a 120/70 and have been running that since. Compared to my track bike, this bike feels really sluggish. Is that handling due to the fact that I changed to a taller front tire? Friends have advised me to raise the rear to put the aspect of the bike into its correct stance for track work. What should I do? Good question, Daniel. Well, what should you do? When you raised, so to speak, the front end because you went to a 120/70 front tire, you should have made an appropriate geometry change to the front of the bike to reflect that increase of height in tire circumference. Now, obviously, you didn't do that. The bike didn't turn in like it should have done, and consequently, you have paid the price for that. To go ahead and shim the rear of the bike doesn't really help with turn-in. What the rear of the bike does when you lengthen rear ride height is change swing arm angle, which changes edge grip or mechanical grip. And we get so many confusing emails and questions in regard to that statement. So we actually did, with On the Throttle, a program on rake and trail and swing arm angle. And we had as a guest Richard Stamboli from Attack Performance on the show live with us to go through that, just to show you that the front end is completely separate to the rear end. You can do something significant to either end to affect the other, but in essence, you have to go a long way to make a difference. So if you look up On the Throttle live on Ustream, search out the program we did on rake and trail and swing arm angle, it's about 45 minutes, and you'll learn a hell of a lot more than I can go through in this 2 or 3 minute answer to your question. So bottom line is this: in regards to what you did with the front tire, your fork should be probably about plus 10 millimeters showing above the upper triple clamp. Your shock on that particular bike, depending on the rear axle, should be shimmed up about 5 millimeters to 7 millimeters if the rear axle is at least halfway back in the slot, and if you have a 180 tire on the rear, not a 190. So, hope that helps you. Go look at the show that we did on Ustream with On the Throttle Live, and that will give you a ton of much more useful information. Thanks for your question, and if you have a question for me, please send it through Facebook to Dave Marsh Tuning. Thanks a lot.